live in the most densely populated state in the nation, between two major metropolitan areas, New York and Philadelphia. And of course, New Jersey is a commuter state. Governor Florio, give a grade to our transportation system, our infrastructure.
But the fact is that we've invested over the last number of years, and our transportation system has really deteriorated dramatically. And that, of course, takes away the advantage of location. If you can't get around, you're not going to get the benefit, the economic benefit particularly.
Do you agree with that assessment, Governor Kean? And are we sacrificing our economy in New Jersey?
What people have got to recognize is this is what we live on. If you want to go talk to a CEO about bringing a company that's going to create jobs in New Jersey, that CEO wants to know about transportation. What can you do around me as far as improving roads, building bridges, make sure my people can get to and from the workplace properly? So it's not just a question of convenience. It's really a question of the economic lifeblood of the state. And if we don't do something about it pretty soon, we're going to suffer even more than we're suffering now.
Well, Governor Florio, you've written about this, spoken about it publicly in recent times. What are your thoughts on improvements and how are we going to pay for them?
The system is just not working very well, and we have to have a committed source of funding to be able to deal with mass transit.
Such as?
What we really need to do is appreciate the fact that it may be that there's not going to be enough tax money to deal with all of our transportation needs. And therefore, we're going to have to start thinking about public-private partnerships, getting the private sector to invest into the public sector system for transportation. It can be done. It's been done in some areas. And we're going to have to think about that.
We've raised the gas tax in New Jersey. That was to pay for infrastructure needs. Isn't that enough? Isn't it generating enough money?
Well, it's going to help a lot, but possibly going to do it even more. Because for so long we didn't do it. You know, I think when you left the governorship, it was pretty good shape. We had a transportation trust fund, which we created in our administration. You kept it going well, did it properly, and we had enough funds to do mass transit and to repair where it was necessary. Then they started taking money from that for other reasons. Then they started borrowing against it. Then they did all sorts of things which made the transportation trust fund not effective anymore. And all those years, we didn't substitute any other funding. Transportation trust fund stopped working, and for years we didn't do anything about our infrastructure. And when you do that, you pay the price. You pay the price.
It's interesting just to keep the realization as to what is real. About 1/3 of the money that was raised with the gas tax in the Transportation Trust Fund goes to pay off bonded indebtedness from previous bonds. And the balance of the money is already being committed. I mean, they have more than enough projects to use up the rest of the money. And you have other obligations, the tunnel into Manhattan, that's going to cost New Jersey apparently an additional $5 billion. I don't know where you get the $5 billion, but that's what the plan is.
You've written about toll hikes. You've written about fees imposed on New Jersey drivers. Is that the answer?
Well, nothing is for nothing. And the fact of the matter is, reality is that we have to pay for these things. And you pay one way with money, or you pay through bridges falling down. As long as we continue to rely upon state-by-state funding for these things, it's going to be inadequate. So we really have to start talking about national funding. National funding is going to entail some pain, a carbon tax on a national basis, value-added tax, and then have money back from the federal government into the states. Sharing fees. I think that's really what the ultimate answer is going to be. But I suspect for the next at least 3 or 4 years, we're not going to find very much receptivity in Washington for doing things, even if they make common sense.
Every state's got a lot of these problems. We may be a little worse because we've neglected some things, but we've all got the problems. And a national response is absolutely necessary, and everybody knows it.
Governors, thank you very much for sharing your views.
Thank you.